Welcome back, guys, to this No Quitters online game of Civilization 5. We randomed the Egyptians and we're off to a really good start, and unfortunately one of the players disconnected. His PC restarted, and actually after that we started again from the load, and then someone else disconnected immediately, so now this is the second reload. So fingers crossed that this time everyone loads in and the game can go ahead as normal. So as I was explaining before when I started recording this video on the last reload, a lot of people really don't like Egypt as a civ because two of their unique properties really contradict each other, and that is the burial tomb here. This gives you extra happiness and saves you some gold, among other things. I think it replaces the I think it replaces the market, but I could be wrong. And the other unique ability that they have is okay, I'm confused. I appear to be a little bit lost. Which way did I go last time? I guess I went up here. The other unique ability that they have is plus 20% production to wonders. And this is contradictory because building wonders is something you do when you're playing tall normally. And of course, building buildings in cities, you can only build one of them if you've only got, a few cities. You can only build, 2 or 3. So that really doesn't work out too well. So I'm just going to head up here, and there's another city-state up here, it looks like. And it's another religious city-state, and we've got another 8 faiths, so now we know for sure that we've got desert folklore. So this is turning out to be a really brilliant start for us. So we're going to quickly grab desert folklore before anyone else does. And we're also going to grab our plus production towards wonders. 15%, so that brings us down a couple more turns. And we'll continue scouting through Jerusalem's land up to the north. So the plan for this game, I think, is to get this out as quickly as possible. 10 turns. I'd like to try and sync it up with our research, so we're going to have a look at our research tree. We've got 1 turn on this, and then 6 turns for another thing. So it's not going to line up too well, actually. What I'll probably do is grab... Actually, no, it will work out pretty well, actually. We can grab this for free, so then we can start working on the hang gardens immediately. And we found a wonder as well over here. And I was wrong about the shape of the land. It looks like there could be room for more civs than this side. At least one, I would imagine, but I could be wrong. And wow, we're meeting all of the city-states. This is doing wonders for our gold, if you'll excuse the pun. To the point where I'm actually just going to buy us a worker. And we can start improving tiles next turn. And archery is finished. This is good. We can always... cool, so we're actually going to steal a worker from Ragusa as well. And we're going to make peace. And we can walk him back to our mainlands and continue to scout. So there are a few barbarians out at the moment. Nothing that's making me too worried. Some salt down here. Salt, of course, many people regard as the best luxury in the game, by quite a long way as well. And look at this, we're on plus 4 faith per turn. We're easily going to found the first religion, I think, because there are no religious civs in the game. We're yet to meet anyone, but we did see that these guys are protected by the Carthaginians. So unfortunately the Petra doesn't actually affect floodplain tiles, and as you can see we've got quite a few of those. 1, 2... is that one in range? No, that's not in range. So we've got 1, 2... That's not going to be in range either, actually. Maybe it's not so bad. We've got one here. But yeah, the Petra's definitely going to be useful despite that. And I just want to try and get this worker home as quickly as possible. And I'm probably going to have to build an archer to defend them since I've got 2 of them. It's a lot harder to just sort of hide them from the preying enemies. So I'll have to be a little bit on this safe side. So we'll move him down here. And look at this, we've got some citrus up here. So, looking at potential sites to build a city on, I guess so far there isn't really that many good choices. I guess down here would be really nice. There's a lot of production and a lot of food as well. And we can grab this salt and the Barringer crater. And we've just picked up another ruin, and that one gave us some culture. We can see at the top that this is 40 out of 48. So we're going to spend that right now. And I think we're going to go into Liberty. So it looks like this guy is relatively safe to make his way back home, so we're going to continue scouting now. And we'll just check our citizens, and they're all working on relatively sensible tiles for the moment. I think I'm going to move this guy over to here and lock him down onto that tile. Just to try and keep up this growth a bit longer, because we're not going to be expanding too quickly. Even though I went Liberty, that was mainly just for the 1 extra culture that we get. And probably I'll take that +1 production as well. And then we can grab the settler when we need to. That'll probably line up about right actually for when we want to expand. So we've finished our first farm. So do let me know in the comments what you think of these Let's Play series. This is the first one I've done online. Playing online is very different. The No Quitters community is a really good community of players. They're all very skillful, which is a good thing and a bad thing. It's a bad thing because it's actually really quite rare that you will win. But it's a good thing because, you know, they help you improve and stuff. There's actually a rant that I've got planned to do on YouTube regarding playing online. A little pet peeve of mine, I guess, which is definitely something that really annoys me about playing online and frustrates me. But I won't go into that in this Let's Play. I'm just going to focus on playing this game. Another ruin over here. We're going to want to start bringing this warrior back soon before he gets trapped by barbarians. It looks like this is the edge of the island, so we've got all of this area that we can expand to quite safely later on. And we've actually found our first civ, and that is where their capital is. So their capital is very close to ours, especially when you consider that we actually spawned on this tile. So that's actually really very close by. So we're going to want to expand back in this direction quickly so that we can secure ourselves this ivory. needed to actually switch from that, and we're going to... Mathematics only takes 4 turns now? Oh, I'm very confused. I guess it's because I have a library. So, I guess I'm just going to take drama and poetry instead. That way, when we complete the Petra, we will get our free amphitheatre immediately. Which I don't think you do otherwise. We could even potentially build the amphitheatre first, but I don't think we'll do that. I would much rather get myself an archer out to defend these 2 workers. And we got a free population increase from that. So we're probably winning on the demographics right now for population. No, we're actually second. Oh no, we are first. We're joint first with the Carthaginians. I'm going to turn this guy around since he's looking like he might get into a bit of bother. He should be able to take out those archers, or at least run away from them. So having these double religious city-states nearby is super useful, because also if I can maybe get them friendly with me, and there's another city-state up here, if I can get them friendly with me, then I'm going to be really churning out religion at a crazy speed. And as you can see, we have this cotton ready for us to work. I did take mining so that we can chop down the forest on these tiles and build some mines on all of these hills that we have. In hindsight, maybe it would have been better for me to try and get either calendar or maybe the other thing that's completely slipped my mind. What shall we build? I think another scout would be a pretty good call, but since we've got 3 turns, I'll make that an archer instead. And we can use this archer to go and scout out a little bit. Well, actually, no, he can come and defend. And this guy is really not looking too strong. Do a bit of damage, and I think we're just going to fortify. Another city-state, Zanzibar. I believe they are mercantile. And these guys have pillaged my land, which is not very nice of them. But it is also not too big of a deal, since we have some great tiles. And we can upgrade him. We'll try and do a bit more damage. Hopefully we can escape with that warrior and get him back to some safe land. I'm going to bring my scout back around. I don't think there's a way through here, but there might be. Oh, there is. There you go. Worth exploring. So this guy's taken the jungle from the jungle tile pantheon that gives you 1 culture per jungle tile. It's not surprising, there's an awful lot of jungle around here. So I'm going to grab this, and I think next turn I'm going to grab, next policy I'm going to grab legalism, so that way we get a free amphitheatre, and then when we build the Petra we actually get the next one up from that for free. And this guy's in a real bad position here, so I'm just going to retreat him and hopefully he can just hide back there and heal up a bit more. We are winning on the score, but the score is not what's really important in this game. We can see that we are first on literacy, but again, it's really too early to read anything into that. So we're going to start on our hanging gardens, and we're going to research calendar and the burial tomb in philosophy. And after that we'll grab trapping as well. Now, although it can get very tempting to just spam out a lot of wonders because we're so far ahead in tech, that's often a very bad plan. We need to make sure that we get some expansions up, because if we don't, we will fall behind in production and in gold. Both of those are very important. So we're just going to keep running from this guy. It looks like we're probably going to lose this guy. It's more than likely we're going to run into some more barbarians further along. But there's not much we can do about it, so we may as well just get the best out of him that we can. Carthaginians seem to have an awful lot of food and gold. I'm not even sure how they would get that. They must have founded their city on top of a resource, maybe? I'm not entirely sure how they did that. They are the only civ that we have met so far. We've all of these city-states that we've met though, which has really helped us out with gold. And look at all of the bananas this guy's got. He's going to grow like crazy. I'm going to get up onto this hill so that I can see around me, and then I will fortify there if I am lucky enough not to get killed. And what would you know, there's a barbarian archer right there that's going to pick me off right before I can grab that ruin as well. And the Carthaginians seem to have spawned on the coast. I'm just going to check actually what... Yeah, it is Pangea, so... it looks like maybe we just have a very, very strangely shaped chunk of land. And there goes our brave warrior who fought so valiantly. So there's another city-state just over here. We really are surrounded by them. Wittenberg would like a bit of help against one of the encampments that is giving them problems. And because of all the action our scout's in, he's actually getting quite close to leveling up, so that's cool. We could probably take the plus sight, and then we can use him later on as a bit of a spotter for when we're looking at wartime situations. So I've just put him in the way there to protect my archers. There seems to be quite a bit of incense over here, so a city right here would be a really nice position. It's quite a long way away, but I think it's in a really nice area, so I'm going to try for that and just block off this land. And really, there's going to be a very fiercely competed border between me and this guy because he hasn't got much room to expand. He's probably going to put his city here and one or maybe two up here. But if we look at the demographics, I think I'm doing quite well on soldiers. Someone is at 27,000, which is very high. I'm only actually on 12,000 because of losing this warrior. But I do have 2 archers and my scouts, so I've easily got enough to defend should he come attacking. So he's done his job. He can go home and heal himself up. So yeah, a city here is definitely going to be the first one I go for. It would be really nice if I could just put one maybe here. It's not very far away, it would be easy to defend, or perhaps even on top of the citrus. Easy to defend with all the hills around it and with the river between as well. For this guy to attack, he'd have to come through these chokes, and this one could be bombarded from the city. So I think that's where I'll try and put my second one, but he may well try to expand there before I can. In fact, it's also likely that he would expand south as well and try and beat me to it down here. So we have got our great prophet already, super fast, turn 37. So let's get up our religion and we're going to call it, what are we going to call it? Blood, nah. Gore God. How about the God of Gore? The God of Gore. And we're going to go for +4 gold for every follower since we're growing so quickly and we're about to get the Hanging Gardens. +4 gold, +1 gold for every 4 followers. And my personal favourite, which is pagodas. The God of Gore. How lovely. What a lovely god that is. I should have probably picked like Zoroastrianism symbol or the one that begins with the T. I can't remember what it's called. Tenguinism maybe? I can't remember. But those symbols look a bit more manly. This is a very peaceful symbol and I've just taken it way out of context. So we've met the lovely people of Bucharest. And we've also met the Japanese. Okay. So they've come from this direction. So it leads me to believe that this right here is just a really big lake. And that you can probably go around the top and the bottom. So me putting this city here will act as a nice little buffer. It's not really that easily defendable, but the hills make it a little bit more difficult for him to get over to me. Probably not the most offensive city, but I do need to get up, so I don't really have too much choice. And he's fortified his units there, he doesn't want me getting through. And that's fine, I'm okay with that. But I will take this worker off of Bucharest. Someone has built Stonehenge. Far away land, so we know it's not the Carthaginians. It looks like it's probably the Aztecs, considering their score has gone quite high. So we just want this trapping and then the Petra. Currency for the Petra. And we're going to try and quickly get out our settler. We'll see how long it takes us to get it out. 5 turns, that seems very reasonable. Yeah, he definitely doesn't want me getting through. And because I cannot see over here, I can't go around this way either. Which is quite a dilemma. There could also be a route down around the bottom, around the south. There could well be 3 routes around. There might even not be a route round up here either, so who knows, but we have met him at least. And Sidon is actually happy with us for some reason. And they would like this encampment destroyed, and that seems like something quite reasonable. We could probably achieve that when we heal this guy up and bring this guy down to help. A city here would be quite nice. We can get these 2 wheat, the truffles, the stone. I think eventually I would like to try and take out some of these city-states though. They all seem to have different luxury resources for the most part. We've got Wales, 2 with the spices, these 2 here. And we've got this one down here that will eventually grab those dyes. So we're going to grab legalism, and we're doing that now so that we get our free amphitheatre. And you know what, I might even work it, but getting great artists isn't really the most useful thing. They're okay, you know, they're definitely worth having, but not necessarily at the expense of high production tiles. So for now I think I'm going to leave it. I think I'm going to start building my road with this guy out here, because as you can see with these 2 workers early and this 3rd one as well, I've already basically developed all the tiles I need to develop. So while we're waiting for everyone else, let's have a look and see what all of these guys want. Bucharest would like to see the most religion, and we're easily going to win that. Unfortunately, we're unhappy with them. In 30 turns we'll be less unhappy, but they will still be quite annoyed at us, so that'll actually probably only get us back to neutral territory. We can just peer over and see that Sidon hasn't done any damage to them yet. We need to be a little bit careful with this worker, because maybe the Carthage will try and steal him. So we'll see where he moves. If he moves up here, then we won't be having an issue, or if he moves in this direction. We have just enough time to build our national college. We're going to build this and we're going to wait to put down our settler. Because if you didn't know, you have to build one of every library. You have to have a library in every single city that you own before you can build the National College, apart from puppeted cities. So we build it now in 5 turns, then we don't have to wait for 16 turns for this city to build it, and then to build one afterwards. So it's easily worth waiting 1 extra turn to found the city. The city seems to still be growing, so we know that they probably haven't stopped to build themselves a settler yet. But perhaps they went Liberty, and maybe they're going to try and get it that way. So he's actually moved, so we're safe to let this guy fortify for a little bit longer. And we've got some gold for that. And there's some more truffles down here, and what is this? Is that just a strange artifact? It looks like it's just a bug in the game. We've never seen that before, just a random red line. Someone's been doing some graffiti on the land. So we have the gold ready to buy ourselves some units if we get into any trouble. If we don't get into any trouble by the time we have 370, then we can just use it to buy ourselves a settler. So we can see that he's done a bit of damage to this for us already. Hopefully these archers won't attack our scouts, and that'll make it very easy for us to capture this. Or at least that's the theory. Sidon is of course a militaristic city-state, so it's quite likely that they're going to build up a lot of units, so we need to take this quickly since it's so close to them. They could build some spearmen and maybe take it for themselves. Take it out themselves, and then we wouldn't get the reward for it. Very strange red line. So I think we're almost ready to call this part over. Next turn I'm going to finish this part and we will start recording part 3. And wow, the Carthaginians have already started to adopt our religion, as have all of these city-states, it seems. The power of the Gore God is spreading. So I'm just going to pick my research. We need to get our composites ready, just so that we don't leave any easy access for an attack. It looks like we can actually take this turn. And so now we are allied with Sidon, which is brilliant news. So I will see you in part 3, and hopefully we can settle our new city next turn.